our Human Resources Department, as well as representatives from our Information Technology Department. We'll kind of go over the milestones for this particular project. We will also address the minimum qualifications, and then I will turn it over to our subject matter experts to do a deeper dive into what our expectations are. Then we'll open the floor for questions. At any time, you guys can include your questions in the chat. We welcome that. We also ask that you include the company that you represent and your name in the chat as well, so that we have a record of your attendance. This is not a mandatory pre-bid conference. However, we would like to see who potential opportunities are with our vendors. For those just joining us, this call is being recorded. We also ask that if you have any questions, that you include them in the chat. If you are looking for a binding response to those questions, we will try and answer your questions as best we can here. However, if a binding response, we will request that you submit those questions through the e-procurement portal, which is Bonfire. This bid was advertised on May 11th. The question due date is June 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The proposal due date is June 12th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. We're looking for proposals from companies that can provide a minimum of the following. Your proposal will only be accepted from firms demonstrating a minimum of 7 years experience providing the services requested in the RFP that are similar in size and scope. You can do that by providing 3 references. You can do that on attachment A within the bid package, confirming that your information can verify your information. Respondents must also have administered FMLA leave management programs for at least 5 different employers over the last 7 years. 3 out of those 5 employers must have at least 1,000 or more employees. And the last minimum qualification is the respondents must have an account representative that will be assigned to the contract that has worked with at least 3 different employers for at least 1,000 employees each. That can also be provided through references of that particular account representative. This project is on behalf of our Human Resources Department, and we're looking for qualified respondents that will be able to provide a fully integrated cloud native SaaS solution for FMLA, ABA, and city-specific leads. As I mentioned, we have representatives from our Human Resource Department as well as DoIT, and I will turn that over to one of those representatives now to kind of give you an overview of the expectations for this proposal.
The city of Detroit is looking to have to receive proposals in reference to our absence leave management program. It is integrated for city leaves, so that would include any medical leave of absence, military leave, educational leave, and any other leaves that we have associated and defined within the back as part of the project, which is attached to the RFP. You will see a document that says medical leave of absence rule 14. which is all of the different leaves that we have. And it also includes FMLA and ADA.
Okay. Is there anything else anyone else would want to add before we open the floor for questions? Okay. Any questions? Please raise your hand. Or you can unmute your phone and go ahead and ask.
Sorry, I have one quick question.
Sure.
I believe the RFP had indicated this would be under a technology services contract versus like an administrative services contract. Is there a reason you chose one versus the other?
Yes. We have a professional services contract, but we also have an IT related contract that has specific language in it in regards to our cybersecurity, our data protection. It's different boilerplate language. So that's what is supporting this.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I have a question in the chat that wanted to know, will you be sharing this call, the recording and the deck? Absolutely. So once we have a pre-bid conference completed, what we do is we connect it to a YouTube link. That YouTube link is then consolidated with this deck and it's uploaded through Bonfire as a public notice so that it goes out to all interested participants, candidates, vendors, or anyone else that may not have been able to participate on this call. I also will include a link so that for supplier support, grab that real quick and drop it in the chat. So if you have any complications or difficulties with maneuvering through Bonfire or submitting your proposal, this is a great resource for being able to get the assistance you need. I would strongly suggest that you definitely don't wait till the last minute to submit your proposals. I also would like to mention that we're looking for thorough proposals that identify our evaluation criteria. Those are the things that the team will be looking at and evaluating. Clear, concise proposals, 50 to 100 pages is well received. 500, 700 page proposals don't always get the attention that you might want. So I would strongly suggest that you tailor your proposals so that they provide us with the information that is being requested. There's another question in the chat. I note that the RFP includes 10,500 employees. Does this include police uniform?
The number submitted includes the total number of employees for the city of Detroit. It does not necessarily mean that the police uniform will be participating as part of this proposal.
Another good question.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Good questions coming forth. This is a great opportunity because you have all your experts on one call. We have another question. All applicable CBAs are included in the Bonfire Hub. I'm not, if someone could clarify that for me, I don't want to misunderstand all applicable CBAs.
Sorry, that's just a follow-up from the previous question around the police uniforms.
Okay.
So the collective bargaining agreements, I believe all of your city specific leaves were included in that. I just wanted to make sure that that is the takeaway, that whether or not it includes the police uniforms, it does include whatever CBAs will be covered.
So we did include civil service rule 14. We included FMLA policy for the city of Detroit. We included the paid parenting policy in Detroit. There was an example of the technology contract that we will be using. Definitely by all means, please read through that. If you are granted the award, that is your opportunity to identify if there's any exceptions or questions that you might have as far as that's concerned. I don't know if Lori, we have our do it information technology expert on the call. If there's anything that, as far as software is concerned, that needs to be identified at this time, as far as our data protection or any type of city policies that should be identified at this time. If you could share that with us, Lori.
So that for sure, there is language in the RFP about data protection and data usage. There is another clause that I need to share with this group that I will do through Kelly about storage of data in the United States.
And Lori, that kind of falls into the security profile of the vendor and that being shared with the city itself.
Yes, I think. Could you elaborate?
Yes. So for us personally, we have a WISTIC profile that contains all of the relevant security documentation that you would normally ask for, including things like the SOC 2 Type 2.
Gotcha.
The fact, yeah.
Yes, then.
This is a very clarifying call, and it's super helpful. The one last question that was on my mind that I don't think was brought up in the current documentation in Unibonfire is space for potential future developments around the Flock Act that is trying to be passed through the state of Michigan currently. Is that something that you're keeping an eye on?
So, as it relates to any rules and regulations that are going to be newly implemented in the future, the administrator will be responsible for administering those. So, if we didn't account for something because we wouldn't have known what was going to be approved in the future, the way that it's written is that anything that's covered, federally will be included in the contract or state.
Okay, so just to clarify then, you want to make sure that any federal FMLA, PWFA laws are included, as well as any proposed state laws that may be enacted during the time of the contract.
Right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that clarification.
Or maybe developed during the entirety of the contract, just to be specific.
Correct. And I mean, I've been watching it personally in the state of Michigan, and it's been stuck for about a year, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't confusing some of the language. You know how RFPs can get.
Yeah, you know what? This being an election year, some things may not move until after the election. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry.
And then also, Autumn, just to bring clarity for you and the other vendors, is that this is a proposal. So we are looking for not only just a vendor, we're looking for a partner with the city of Detroit. This is your level of expertise. Is there something that you believe would be critical or crucial to the city of Detroit? By all means, include that within your proposal. Don't take for granted that we know, or we wouldn't be out here looking for potential vendors. So by all means, include that in your proposal. Highlight that as something that we should consider and read. So when your proposals come in, the entire evaluation team reads these proposals, and we're evaluating on the best fit for the city of Detroit. So if you believe that is a great marketing strategy to include in your proposal to get our attention, definitely look at the evaluation criteria, see what the top things we are looking at that we will be scoring on, and the highest ranked is normally who would get the award. So, in other words, by all means include it, but you also just gave the answer to the test for your competitors.
Well, I
That's a-
appreciate it though, just the clarity itself. I think everybody's keeping an eye on all these things, but it is super helpful to understand
Correct.
future state potential.
Absolutely.
Yes,
That's what makes a good partnership. Yeah.
yeah, because we're looking for your solution. We're presenting to you the scope as far as managing the absence leave process for the city of Detroit employees. And we want you to provide us with your proposal to identify how you can do that for us and to articulate that in writing as to the what you can do, how you can do it, and what we will need to do in order to assist with that. So in that document, it gives you the basis of the things that we're covering. And so we just looking for your response to that, for your solution to that problem resolution.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm asking more questions than the Riddler.
No, this is a great opportunity to ask those questions. However, again, I'll reiterate that if you're looking for a binding statement from the city of Detroit, you will have to upload that same question into Unibonfire, and then we will provide the responses through an addendum that we send out publicly as a public notice to all those that may be interested in that response. And just real quick, before I give you back your time, I just wanted to share again the evaluation criteria that we are looking at, that we will be evaluating on. The experience and references, including proven track records with municipalities similar in size to the city of Detroit. We're looking for a compliance capacity team, key staff members, resumes, org charts, robustness of the automation of your compliance engines and ADA interactive processing, technical fit, demonstrate the ability to provide real-time API integration, project approach and integration, including scheduling, as well as your price. Equalization is applicable. This is a city-funded project. So if you are a Detroit-based business and you have Detroit certifications, please include that with your proposal, because you will receive additional points as noted within the RFP for being a certified Detroit business. If you're curious about being a Detroit certified business, you can reach out to our Civil Rights, Inclusion and Opportunity Department, and they can share with you on the business opportunities that are available there. We still have time for a couple of more questions. Autumn, we're not trying to stifle you. By all means, you can ask some more questions if you like.
I think I've got all of the ones that were at the top of my head. Thank you so much.
No problem. No problem. We welcome it. And again, the milestone is you have until the 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to submit questions in writing through Unibonfire. We will try to get those questions back to you. That's a Thursday, so we definitely will try to get those questions back to you at least by the 8th, that Monday, if not sooner. These proposals are due on June the 12th by 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I keep reiterating the Eastern Standard Time, because if you're in California and you do not have your zoning set in your profile in Unibonfire and it's still stuck to specific, you will submit your proposal late and you will miss out on this opportunity. So if you need assistance with that, I put that information in the chat where you can go and get supplier support for Unibonfire, Oracle, or you're more than welcome to reach out to me through Una, and I will do my best to make sure you get the information you need to be successful with submitting your proposal. Okay, any more questions going once? Any more feedback from our subject matter experts that they'd like to share?
Kelly, I was just looking at the chat. I don't know if potential vendors identified themselves in the chat per your request earlier.
No, I'm not seeing that. I see one.
Okay.
So it would be very helpful. Okay, I see Robert typing. Give him some time. That is most appreciated. And again, this is just to ensure that vendors are receiving the information adequately and that Unibonfire is branching out and communicating effectively so that everyone has an opportunity. I think that just about covers everybody. If there's no more questions, again, going once.
I just want to thank you. This was a very informative meeting, very well organized, very well facilitated. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And we have that on record. I'll need that for the powers that be. So thank you very much for that. Won't guarantee you the award, but thank you very much for that. Okay, and if we don't have any other questions or any other comments, this would conclude this pre-proposal meeting. I want to thank you for your attention and your attendance, and I will give you the rest of your day back. Enjoy the great weather. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Kelly.
Thank you. Bye.